It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
What do you got, Kevin?
As 7-point underdogs right now, do you think Tennessee is still lacking respect against Bama this weekend?
I think that is respect. Only a touchdown dog to Bama with their
Very
quarterback
much.
back.
Yeah.
I hear people saying that too, like, oh, Tennessee's so disrespected. Tennessee's not been good for 20 years. The occasional blip but not consistently. That is respect. Alabama, they've been great for so long. You're a touchdown or less underdog. That's respect. Tennessee is getting respect. They might actually go to 6. We do this late Thursday. I could see it getting a point either side. I could see, depending how people are betting. But yeah, that's respect. So I don't think they'll win. I don't think they'll cut. I think Alabama's going to take them out and whoop them pretty good.
Do Alabama?
Yeah, I think Alabama's going to take Tennessee out, whoop them pretty good. 13, 14,
I like
15
that.
points.
It was at 7.5 earlier in the week.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
30.
think the 7 is because they feel like Bryce Young is not playing?
I think he is playing, though. I think
But-
every indication has been that he is going to
I think
play.
because it's in Knoxville. It's the biggest game Tennessee's had.
So
Yeah.
3 points goes to the home team regardless. If it's an even game and it's at home, they'll give 3 points to the home team. So you got to think that they think that Tennessee is 4 points worse than Alabama. But that's a lot of that's a lot of respect.
That's a lot of respect.
So
they looked so good last week, too.
they did. Shut up. You're getting respect.
Yeah.
And I hear it a lot because I'm here in Tennessee.
Right.
But they're like, we're being so disrespected. You've been good for 2 months. And
have they
you're
really
getting respect.
Have they played anyone?
They have not really played anybody. They played Florida, which we see who Florida is, and they played LSU at Death Valley at 11 a.m. Them Cajuns
But
didn't even have
again-
time to get hammered yet.
It's funny.
They've played enough. They've played enough
Okay.
teams to where if you play 2 middle of the pack teams that could pop up on you, one usually does.
Yeah.
So I say they've played a pretty good caliber of schedule for us to know that they could have a chance against Alabama. But I don't think Alabama will not cover. I don't think they'll not cover.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're getting respect. Shut up.
You saying 14?
No. I'm not want people to bet that, but
No,
you
no,
can
but you're
go.
thinking
I'm going to
14.
tell you what I'm going to do though. I'm going to go over. I'm going to use DraftKings. Use code Bobby Sports. Although I can't use it anymore.
You've overused it.
And you can actually make up a new spread, right? So let's
Yes. You can tease
let's
it
say
however you want.
let's say it's -7 for Bama. You could actually make it -10, and you get better odds,
Yeah, more smiles.
more smiles.
If
You
you
can
hit
make it -1 and get less smiles.
Less
So
smiles.
get an occasional smile. But you can do that. I do that.
Yeah,
But I
tease
think
it up.
I'll run it up on and have Bama whooping them pretty good.
Okay.
What happens is Bama hits you in the face hard, and you're like, oh, I thought I was ready, but oh my God, they're bigger, faster, and stronger. Now what do I do? Now we got to change our plan real quick, and then
Yeah.
the wheels come off.
Yeah, and Saban just says, yeah, thanks for coming.
All right, what else?
If USC wins at Utah on Saturday, do they get the respect that they deserve at number 7?
They already get respect that they don't deserve because they're USC. And here's where it kind of mixes and matches. They're on the West Coast, so we don't see them as much. West Coast football, generally, in the past 15, 20 years, has not been as strong. So therefore, it's branded as such. I mean, listen, Oregon did not set a good example early this year. People still look at that. Oregon comes in. All right, they're going to give Georgia whooped them.
Yeah.
Probably not accurate to how good Oregon actually is. Probably not accurate to how good all Western schools are. But there is that association in our mind of nobody plays ball like the SEC or the Big 12 or the Big 10, depending on what year it is, right? So I think they already get more respect most of the time than they deserve because they're USC. Where they lack a little bit of some of their players getting notoriety is because they're in the West Coast. But if any team is going to get any of that extra love, it's going to be USC. It's not UCLA. They haven't been good recently at all. They have won a national championship. USC has. It's been a little bit. But the Leinart days,
Yeah.
Reggie Bush.
It's still memorable
Yeah.
right? in the
I
recent memory.
Saw a TikTok where Leinart was on campus at USC going, hey, who wore number 11 or 7 or something? They were like, we have no idea. It was him.
Oh, wow.
One person finally saw and knew it was
That
him.
sucks.
It is funny.
Yeah.
I
think it was you.
And I think they're pretty good. I think they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Are they at number 17? Maybe. I'm going to tell you, they're West Coast. I don't watch a lot of them.
Yeah, I know. I haven't
I
seen
fall
one
asleep.
game.
And that's what sucks about
Yeah.
if you're out
crazy.
there. People don't see you enough.
No.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think they're getting a good. They'll win. They got a great quarterback. They got a good head coach. They're building a program. They're going to be really good for years to come. I think they are where they are, and right about where they are is probably where they should be. Not like Kentucky when they were the biggest fraud of all number
I
sevens
was
of all
going to
time.
say they're not Kentucky, I guess.
Of all time. Of all time. All right, what else?
Which 2 and 3 team from last year's Super Bowl is in more trouble for the remainder of this year, the Rams or the Bengals?
And that is a good question. That's a really good question. And I'm going to say, and here's why. I'm going to say it's the Rams. I just think their offensive line is in much worse shape with not the hope that the Bengals offensive line has. I think with the Bengals, you're looking for gelling. You're looking for when is this going to click with all these guys, the guys that we brought in the offseason to actually make Joe Burrow's life better. With the Rams, they just don't have the folks. They don't have the guys. They're begging for people to play better than they've ever played in their whole life. The Bengals are going, hey, play as good as you played before, but just with these guys. So I think it's a little harder for the Rams. I mean, Stafford just looks pedestrian, and not because he is, but because he doesn't have the time. Burrow, though, he still looks great at times until he just gets walloped. And then he looks terrible, but Stafford just doesn't look very good ever, but he doesn't have time to look good. But I think it's the Rams. And I also think they are going to have a harder time winning where they are than where the Bengals are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Rams. That's a hard. But I think they both can still make the playoffs and actually make a push if they can kind of patch it up. The Cowboys ran through the Rams because the Rams didn't have an offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think that broke their hearts, though.
The Cowboys' defense is really good. And they're going to be really good all year. They may have an off game or two. But the Rams' offensive line was what made the Cowboys look great.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the Cowboys to play the Eagles.
I know.
I would love.
I cannot wait.
I would love for Cooper Rush to go off for like 250. I'm not asking
For what? Why do you want that, though?
Huh?
Why do you want that? Just stick it to Dak?
I think it would be.
Let's hold off on that. I want to hear more about this.
I think it would be hilarious if
We're
the guy.
getting there.
Let me tell you. Oh, you asked a question about that?
We're
Okay,
getting there.
good.
We're getting there.
I want to hear this.
I can't wait. I hope he goes off for like 250. I hope he throws only 2 touchdowns. Has like 31 yards rushing.
Huh.
And an interception, but it was only because it bounced off the receiver's hand.
Okay.
So that's my thoughts on what I would like to see happen. But go ahead, Kevin, with your next question.
Well, next question, with the Cowboys, they haven't allowed multiple touchdowns in a game this year. Will the Eagles be the first team to do it?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Yes. The Eagles are, they're weapons galore.
Yeah.
And so the goal is take weapons galore and just make them weapons. They scored 28 points. If they can keep them 24, I think the Cowboys have a chance with a great offensive output to put up 27. That's a lot of points for the Cowboys because it's not like their offense is, but they're not asking their offense to do a lot either.
No, they're really not.
Mm-mm.
And maybe it's because they know that Rush can't, or odds are he won't, or let's just not push it because our defense is doing it. And maybe the defense is setting the tone every single game where they're making that decision on, okay, we're going to call the plays based on how the defense is doing. And if they're setting us up, we're not taking any big chances. So here's why, Eddie. I love a quarterback controversy. I don't care where it is, as long as it's not Arkansas.
Yeah.
I love a quarterback controversy. I love whenever somebody, don't care who it is. I liked when Dak was the 4th round guy, and he was a quarterback that the Cowboys didn't know what I rooted for Dak because not a guy drafted in the 1st round.
Yeah.
He can be the star. The same reason I root for Cooper. You got to think about Rush. Central Michigan, Western Michigan.
Who knows?
One of those Michigan with an arrow on it. So, and Mike, you can look that up for me. We don't have to fact check, but you can just say, but maybe Central Michigan.
Central Michigan.
Thank you.
There you go.
A guy who is undrafted, who gets put on a practice squad, gets cut from the practice squad. The Giants pick him up, put him on their practice squad. They cut him from the Giants practice squad. The Cowboys sign him back to their practice squad. He only even gets a shot at the team because Dak gets hurt, comes in, starts, and wins.
You've done your research on Cooper Rush.
No, I'm just brilliant.
He's got a jersey.
Look, man, I understand the.
I love an underdog, and I love a
controversy.
quarterback controversy, and it's all things I like in
That's
once.
great, but I don't want it at the expense of wins and losses. Like
It's not. No, win.
No. Here's the deal.
No, win.
We know Dak is a better quarterback. We know we've seen Dak perform. We know he's.
We should
a good
look at their
quarterback.
winning percentages total of
Well,
both of them.
you gotta
'Cause
do
I
the
think
averages
Dax
with games.
was 100%. What's up?
Cooper? Yeah.
How many
Oh,
games?
sorry. Cooper's 100%. Dax is.
Yeah, but Dax
50.
played like 50 games or 100 games.
Yeah.
I think sample size.
100 games?
Sample size big enough for Rush.
Okay, all right.
Numbers don't lie.
I would like to see the Cowboys win, and I would like to see Rush play just good enough to keep the conversation annoying.
That's a great.
Is
goal.
it, Adam?
I like that.
Is
No,
it?
Is it?
I'm a Cowboys fan. Been a Cowboys fan.
I'm a
Since
Cowboys fan too now.
19. Yeah.
You not sound
Welcome to
like
the
one.
party. No, I do. I love that they're getting good enough quarterback play right now with Dak being down. That it makes it interesting. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
You got to think if this wasn't a conversation, that means the Cowboys would be losing all the games.
I get it.
Yeah.
You got to be thankful that this annoying conversation even gets to happen.
And I am thankful that we're winning, but that's it. That's
But
all.
that's what was going to happen if
that's
you
what
won. If you won every single game, this was going to be a conversation. It was.
I
So
understand.
be thankful that it's an annoying conversation.
Okay.
And you're in the news.
But we are going to find out this week because Cooper Rush is going to have to do more than throw
what he's
one
been doing.
touchdown.
And he's going to
Correct.
throw for 250, 2 touchdowns,
There you go.
1 interception,
But
but
it's
it's going to be
gonna be
tipped off of a Cowboys. So it's not going to be totally his fault. It'd probably be a little high, but he should have made the catch. And he'll rush for like 31 yards on a couple of plays where his protection
Cooper
broke
Rush
down.
is not
down.
running 31
Exactly,
yards.
which is why he does. It'd be too because they're not going to spy him.
Yeah.
So breaks down. He's like, wow, look at this. I'm like, oh, it's going to be great.
Put that on your prop bet.
It's going to be
go.
great. Okay. Is that it, Kevin?
One more. Patrick Mahomes is an underdog at home for the first time in his career against the Bills. Are you surprised by this?
I am surprised, even though it is Josh Allen, and even though the Bills and the Chiefs, that's the rivalry now. That's the one. You always have one. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the one. You wish you have to get lucky for it to happen. You wish that you could see a rivalry in the Super Bowl. We haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah.
But we got to see it in the playoffs last year. It was awesome. It was one of the greatest games we've seen in 10 years.
Yeah.
The two best quarterbacks in the NFL probably will play again in the AFC Championship against each other. They'll play in the regular season. I mean, this is Peyton, Brady, early stages of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not comparing each one individually to either one of them, but you wouldn't have said that about them then either as far as being the greatest of all time and maybe the greatest regular season quarterback of all time.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, it would have been except for Brady. I mean, maybe the second greatest quarterback of all time, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I think if I were picking right now, starting a team, I would take Patrick Mahomes number one. If we were drafting players straight up. But if you said Josh Allen, I would get it. It's hard to stop. He got a cannon. He can run through you.
And he's an animal.
He's an absolute animal.
Yeah.
You talk about a spy. You can't ever let him just play quarterback. You've got to also play him as a running back.
Yeah. And he's bigger.
Even during a passing, if you know it's a passing down and he's dropped, you still got to watch him. Because if it breaks down, he can go for 17 or 31 or 32.
31.
Is that magic number?
Yes, sir. But I'm still surprised because I feel like the Chiefs are, when they're on, they're unstoppable offensively.
Yeah.
And they don't have wide receiver wise, like the guy. I mean, Kelsey's the man.
Kelsey's the man, but
From the outside, they don't have that.
no one.
And it's crazy to watch Valdez Scantling, to watch Hartman, to watch all these guys. 'cause,
Juju.
yeah, there will be brief glimpses of holy crap, but then they disappear for 3 quarters. Man, Kelsey, that 4 touchdowns. Good God. I have him in fantasy. We talked about it on the show. I was just like, I was begging him, stop. I'm embarrassing the guy I'm playing. I was like, you guys got to stop. You guys got to stop. I say, dude, white flag. Kelsey, you're my guy, but, no mas, no
This
mas.
is brutal.
But I'm surprised just because they're so good. You would think it would be 4. You give them 3 plus 1
Yeah.
because it's in Buffalo. No, it's in Kansas
no,
City.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
Yeah,
in Kansas City. You're right.
Arrowhead.
Oh, I'm really surprised.
Yeah. And it was 3. I checked a couple days ago. It was 3. Not just 1, 1.5. It was 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Whatever. Kansas City's gonna win the game. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. That's it. They're gonna win the game. All right, that it.
That's it.
Hit it up.
The stupidest name